So for this vlog slash 808 mukbang, I'm gonna be actually reshooting some footage that from I think last year's mukbang that didn't make it to the channel here at the Lanai food court in Moana. Now the place that we're talking about is a place where I used to frequent. It's under new management. It's still the same theme. It's Japanese food. Now specifically, what I love about Japanese food is that it's simple, it's clean, and it's very minimalistic. And it's often things that you can cook generally at home. Now granted, handmade soba noodles are one of the things that probably is a little bit time consuming, but here at Sobaya at the Lanai food court, hopefully it's still there. It's one of those things where it's delicious, it's easy to make, it's fun to eat, and it's my comfort food. It was one of the actually a childhood friend introduced it to me when I was in elementary school, probably 3rd, 4th grade. All I knew about Japanese food was that it was instant, meaning you had your instant ramen, cup noodle, and all of that. But when I first tried this stuff, I tried it just plain as it is, noodles with a little bit of suyu sauce, which is basically a condensed version of consomme. You dip the noodles in the consomme, and man, I got horrible lighting. You dip the noodles in the consomme and you enjoy the flavor, and that's all it is. Slurp it up, enjoy, and stuff your face with utter goodness. Man, I got horrible lighting. I gotta adjust this later. But yes, Sobaya is still here. I gotta find a place where I can order it. So I'm gonna order it, show you guys what I ordered, and yeah, probably might set up right outside. This is actually the video reshoot for first episode for this YouTube series. But the first video that I shot was actually at Sobaya, which is located here in Moana, Honolulu, Hawaii. It's a shopping center where people go to shop, have fun, dine in. We have a bowling alley right upstairs, the floor above us. But today we're just gonna highlight the food. So what I ordered is my childhood favorite, soba, or what they call zaru soba, which is basically cold noodles and tempura. And I think the tempura is a little bit different from when I remembered it, but it looks a lot better quality-wise. Generally with soba, you want to dip it in a sauce. So they have two different types of sauces: a cold sauce and the hot broth. And from there you have your toppings. I normally put the toppings with the hot broth. So that's what we're gonna do. And then for my drinks for this mukbang, I chose. If you're having Japanese food, you gotta have the Japanese Comfort Classic rum in it, and then of course some oolong tea. And since I'm an American and I'm a fatty, gotta have my Pepsi. So that being said, let's dig in. I'll put my drink on the side, and we'll start with bowl number 1. I've actually ordered 2. This is how much I love this dish. Like this dish, I can eat a lot of it and not get sick of it. Simply because one, buckwheat noodles have what they call in the glycemic index low calorie count, and you can eat a lot of it without feeling guilty. The guilty pleasure in this case for this meal is the soba, or not the soba, but the tempura. It's fried, it's fresh, and it's one of those things where it's done really well. It's comfort food for me for many years. Like I've had this growing up every birthday. Every December 19th, I would go to like Pearl Ridge where they had a sister store called Sobaya or Suruya. And in this location, Sobaya was located downtown. Now, when I first shot the video here, I got to talk with one of the managers, and they said that those were 2 different companies. It was under a parent company that now owns and has created what's called Champon Ramen, which is basically everything dumped into one really broad soup-style restaurant. Whereas Sobaya specifically, you do have your soups, you do have your kitsunes or fried tofu and fried mochi, but this specifically for me was one of the highlights to the restaurant was their cold soba. Now I don't know if it's fresh noodles that they have, but instant noodles or dried noodles are just as great, depending on how it's cooked. The instant noodles, as you can see, are a little bit more rectangular. They're not really round like most instant noodles. This is, again, this is buckwheat noodles, and it's served cold. So here's the first bite. Alright, let's talk about the flavor. Buckwheat noodles, just by itself, have basically a very bland flavor. Now, when you're cooking Japanese noodles in particular, you don't have salted water. It just goes into regular boiling water. From there, it just boiling water, maybe 3 to 4 minutes to get to al dente. If it's instant, if it's fresh, a minute 30 seconds at the longest to get that al dente, to get that chew. Shock it in cold water to stop the cooking process, and when you eat it as it stands, it has a very nutty flavor. With the broth itself has what they call in Japanese umami flavor, and that umami flavor carries through the noodles and kind of gives you like that ramen style, or in this case, because it's dipped in broth or in a dipping sauce, a sukemen style eating. But for me, the broth and the flavor of itself is 100% spectacular. I love it. It's childhood, and I'm gonna get to eat it. Now we have this hot broth. Now the hot broth is pretty much the same flavor, except the temperature-wise is a little bit different. And when you're talking about sukemen style of eating and sukemen style of dining, it is not the noodle that's the star, it's the broth. And the temperature of the broth is a little bit more, the sweetness of the seafood broth, which most dashis and most what they call suyu or dipping sauces are made out of, fish stock. So the broth is very sweet, very flavorful, and very delicious. This is the broth that I have in the wasabi and the scallions in. And let's try that. Completely different. It's a lot more. It has a little bit more of a backheat to it. The green onions provide a nice crunchy texture and a nice onion flavor. Tempura. It should be. The best tempura is it's crispy on the outside, and the fish, or say for example, since in this case is ebi tempura or shrimp tempura. Since it's ebi tempura, it'll be nice and chewy and toothsome, not chewy but toothsome in the middle, and very flavorful. The natural sweetness comes out when you take a bite. So here's it plain. Sobaya, hands down, here at Moana. This is not a brand deal, this is not a paid endorsement. This is my 100% opinion. Hands down has the best tempura on the island. It's a little bit expensive, but just for 2 pieces, but you can try their assorted tempura, just as delicious, just as beautifully done. You got that toothsome, perfectly cooked shrimp in the middle, crunchy outside texture, done. And then another thing that I like to do is I like to add what they call shichimi spice. I don't know what type of pepper that they use, but like this, they just sprinkle just a little bit. Just a little bit of it. Got some nice red color, and it doesn't have an aggressive backheat. It doesn't even have, well, I shouldn't say aggressive backheat, but it's not that spicy. And the spice complements it so well. It enhances the sweetness, it enhances the texture of the batter, and it's just all around good. And the sauce. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna call out a restaurant that has a cafeteria style tempura. Cafeteria style tempura is not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just that when you have cafeteria style tempura, the crunchiness tends to, the flavor and the crunchiness tends to be muted. But for now, I just did it in the sauce. I ate the tail, by the way. For me, if you don't eat the tail when you eat shrimp tempura, There's something wrong with your mouth. And I'll tell you in a few moments. Cut for a bit and add